All right, let's go. First card here in white, Acrobatic Leap. All right, just a normal combat trick, nothing too special in this day and age. Just go ahead and start off at a D. Um, Not a card that we're generally interested in. It's a fine card. Nothing special here. Quick Draw Dagger for Capenna was a 6. It at some point was an 8. Oh, you mean S tier? It was never an S tier. Quick Draw Dagger. At some point, it was probably like a B tier, but then end of the format, probably something like a D tier card because you didn't block in that format. Yeah. All right. Acrobatic Leap. Next card here, Deconstruction Hammer. 1 mana, equip creature has +1/+1 and has 3 mana tap, sacrifice Deconstruction Hammer. Okay. Destroy artifact or enchantment. That's pretty cool. Equip 1. So really just a short sword in white, right? 1 mana, equip 1 for +1/+1, and then it also has 3 mana tap it, and then you have to sacrifice the hammer. Pretty cool. I like this design space. You can say it's power creep, but it's not power creep in a way that's like it's like so busted or anything. It's just flexible, a little bit more flexible. Oh, chicken. All right, okay, could be okay. It looks pretty cool for sure though. Like I generally like white equipment like this. I like 1 mana equip 1 for +1/+1. This having the extra thing on it is pretty cool. It's costly, but it's better to have it than not have it. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Probably starts off at a D plus, like somewhere in the C D range. Start off as a D plus. Pretty cool card though. I can see myself playing it a lot. Yeah, rating things S is a Japanese thing. S for super. Yeah, it is better than looks. I'm happy to just rate a lowly to start off with though. Hello Isaiah, how's it going? Alright, next card here, Miner's Guidewing. 1 mana 1/1 flying vigilance. Damn, this guy's a beast. When Miner's Guidewing dies, target creature you control explores. Okay, so Explorer as a mechanic is back. Reveal the top of your library, put the card in your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a counter on that creature to put the card back or put it in your graveyard. Okay. Alright, so when it dies, target creature you control explores. Damn, this guy's kind of a beast. This card's pretty cool. It wear equipment well and attack, it can block. When it dies, it leaves him behind as well. It's pretty funny that in this day and age, they need to make 1-drop so good. Even cards like Amberth Veteran in the last set in Wild Devil Drain was not even that good, like a 1 mana 2/1 that can sack for a roll. Even a card like that, like near the end of the format, I just wasn't putting it in my red decks at all. So like they're really needing to push these 1-drops to make them playable, at least in limited. Right? Like the power creep, but then at the same time, like it's not power creeping enough. I think this one seems pretty good though. Man, I kind of like it. I kind of want to give this one a C plus or B minus. I'm gonna start this one off as C plus here. Yeah, that's too crocky. That's true. Yeah, pretty wild. This card's a common, and dude, it does so many things. Like it's got to be decent, right? I'm starting off as a C plus here. I mean, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. It's Explore. It like just replaces itself as assuming that you have another target creature, right? Doesn't this guy have to kind of be just like pretty good? All right, let's start off as a B minus. I mean, doesn't it have to be good? Like, isn't there no way that is not good? Yeah, kind of crazy, crazy. All right, Oteklin. Oteklin Landmark. 1 mana. Enters the battlefield, scry 2. Okay. And then this is my first time seeing this mechanic here. Craft with Artifact. 3 mana. Exile this artifact. Okay. Then exile another artifact you control. Or an artifact card from your graveyard. Okay. Returns card transformed under its owner's control. Craft only in the source tree. Okay, so essentially crafting is like melding, right? Like Exodia. Like fusing, you know, polymerization. So craft with an artifact. You spend 3 mana, you exile this landmark. Then you exile another artifact that you control or one that's in your graveyard. And then it transforms into... Oh, Teclin Levitator. Okay. So 1/4 flying. Whenever it attacks, target attacking creature without flying gains flying until flying, and then flying until end of turn. I see. Okay, so when it attacks target attack creature without flying gains flying until end of turn. Okay. What? Why would they word it like that though? Like, isn't it fine if there's a word to like target attacking creature against flying until end of turn? I don't get it. Like, why does it have to not have flying? I don't get it. This is not okay. Whatever. Anyways, pretty interesting card, right? So it's a 1 mana, scry 2, then kind of similar to Wilds of Eldraine, you know, just having artifacts, bargain stuff on the board is like very valuable. And then at some point you can craft it for 3 mana with something, and then it becomes a creature. It's a pretty cool card, honestly. It's force, you have to give it flying. I mean, I don't see what the difference is. It's a cool card though. It's a pretty cool card. You know, a little bit unassuming, but I think it's pretty cool. I want to start us off at probably a C. Huh. I like the design space. It feels like they've been pretty brave with the design space for this one, actually. Like, a lot of these mechanics that we're seeing in this set so far, I think that generally, or like at times in the past, they would be scared to shy away new players, right? But they're kind of going balls to the wall with like what they can do with the cards and how they interact and how to create something new. So I really like this crafting mechanic so far. It says fat, you probably never. No, that's not true. I mean, the opportunity cost is so low. Like, I mean, it's 1 mana for scry 2, right? At the floor. And then at some point you can transform this. Like, it has nothing to do with the format being fast, I think. Alright. Let's go next here. Attentive Sunscribe. 2 mana 2/2. It's a gnome. Damn, what is that? He's firing a laser beam from his chest. From his stomach. That was how I was feeling last night with food poisoning, by the way. Attentive Sunscribe becomes tapped. Scry 1. Okay, pretty cool. 2 mana 2/2, and then if it becomes tapped, scry 1. So it can either attack and scry, or you can tap it with something and it scries 1. Pretty cool card. Not too interesting. I assume that unless there's some combos with it or something, like scrying for Explorer, for example, is not that interesting. But yeah, it starts on off as a D+. Vehicles, yeah, if they're vehicles, this goes up in value a little bit, but in general, probably you don't care about it, right? You probably don't really care about it. Alright, Copium Blast. Nice. 2 mana instant. Cosmium Blast deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Generally, I do like these cards. I don't like them that much. They're fine, you know. I'll like play 1 or 2, generally, not pick them up very highly. Let's give this one a D+ as well, I think. Like D+, C-. I don't want to give it a C+, I don't think. Like, D+, C- sounds good, I think. 4 is better than the usual 3. I mean, like 4 and 3 are both usual. It just depends on the set, right? Both of them are pretty common. So like deal 4 is like Gideon's Reproach, stuff like that. Deal 3 is also common. Generally, they're pretty interchangeable. They generally are still just fine. Nothing too special. You don't have to pick them too highly, I think. I think D+ or C- is fine. Let's start off as a D+ here. All right, next card here, Family Reunion. 2 mana instant. Choose one. Creatures you control get +1/+1 end of turn, or creatures you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Alright, so it's a charge, but it's also has a hexproof option. Gives some flexibility. It can dodge like spot removal or something like that. Generally, I'm not a fan of these type of cards. I think the hexproof option does bump it up from where it normally is, but it does also add a cost to the mana. Generally, I don't care that much. Probably start this one off as just a flat D. Yeah, Ignis. I feel you as well. I don't believe in that, but we figured that out a long time ago, you know. I ain't trying to be here for like 24 hours or something for a set review. Alright, Iron Paw Aspirant. 2 mana 1/2. Enters the battlefield, put a counter on target creature. Damn! What is this? God damn, son, look at that! Oh my god, it can put a counter on itself. Enter the battlefield, put a counter on target creature. What? Alright, so pretty sick, I think, like pretty flexible. 2 mana, 2/3. Pretty powerful. You put you put a counter on like the 1/1 flyer, for example, curve right into it. I think this card is kind of a chonker. Kind of a chonker. I want to put this even in like a B minus range. It's just a reprint. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cards like this. We've had like green versions and stuff before as well. But you know, very flexible, very easy to use. It's a common rarity. I really like it. Hello, Maz, by the way. Have you taken a look at the cards? I'm gonna go and start selling off at a B minus. Amaz is probably gonna sue me, by the way. It's fine. At this point, our lawyers are friends, right? Our lawyers know each other. It's all good. Just send it over, Amaz. Yeah. So it looks pretty bomby. So like generally I don't really classify sets as like or yeah, I don't really classify or care if sets are bomby or not. Like I'm really gonna be interested in like the play patterns and sort of sort of the architecture of the set. So I'll be very interested to see what the format feels like. But yeah, hopefully there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. We'll see. What the hell? Isn't that good? I know. Send it over to my lawyer, Must. Okay, next card here, Petrify. 2 mana, enchant artifact or creature. Can't attack or block. Activators can't be activated. Alright, so good pacifisms are back. I feel like in this day and age, pacifism just has to have this line of text. Activated abilities can't be activated. So, like, at least have that, right? I think it's so lame when white and sets have like this like 3 mana pacifism or something and people can still activate their abilities. So really happy to have this back. Pretty happy about this. I think I'm just gonna start Petra as a B. white removal doesn't really get better than that. I mean, not much to complain about, not much to say either. It's a fine card, nothing special. Okay. Next card here, Thousand Moons Crack Shot. Damn! Oh my god, what the hell is that? It sounds like an ultimate ability. 2 mana 2/2, whenever Thousand Moons Crack Shot attacks. Dude, wait, is this really a Magic card? Is this a Yu-Gi-Oh card or something? When it attacks, we pay 3. When you tap target creature, okay. Pretty cool card. I mean, I think the coolest part about this card is his name. Like, what the hell? Thousand Moons Crack Shot. My god. It sounds like 1,000 years of pain from Naruto, you know? Oh my god. Holy cow. Anyways. I'm not really looking to play this card, generally. It has an ability, but I don't really want to pay for it, and I don't really want to play decks that involve this Thousand Moons Crack Shot's ability. So, in general, I'm probably going to start this one off at just a flat D. In the past, we used to rate, like, bears with an upside, stuff like that, like, in the C range, but I think in this day and age, like, I don't really see myself putting this card in a deck for the entire format, so might as well just put it at a D, right? Like, The D range are cards that are fine. Cards like Wicked Visitor, stuff like that, right, from Eldraine. Cards that, yeah, you'll play once in a blue moon if you have to, but you're never really trying to play it. So I like to put those in the D range these days. All right, Envoy of Oni Nick. Oni Nakaho. All right, I definitely said that correctly. 3 mana, 3/3. Cat Advisor. 5 mana, create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature. Dude, this card's kind of cool, man. This card's kind of cool. It like you're generating. I mean, I guess you can play it in your white aggressive decks. It's 3 mana, 3/3 without a downside. And then in your decks that go long or making a lot of mana, it's just pumping out dudes. Pretty cool, honestly. Pretty cool, dude. Kind of cool, man. I kind of like this guy. Envoy of Oni Nekaho. Kind of cool, man. Huh. I love this guy, honestly. I think I'm gonna give him a C+. Pretty flexible. Works in a lot of different decks. Back in my day, 3 mana 3/3s usually had a downside to it. You know, like it couldn't block, or you have to attack with something else, or like, you know, yeah, you have to lose some amount of life, something like that. But this guy's like, nope. Giga Chad. Pretty interesting, actually. Huh. Anyways, I'm starting with a C+. I think it's nothing too special. It's very interesting. You can play this guy in many different types of decks. But yeah, we've come a long way, dude. Come a long way, yeah. I like it. Damn. All right, next card here, Glorifier of Suffering. Oh, all right, okay. This is the Vampire Conquistador type guys again, right? 3 mana, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact, okay? When you do, put a counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So it can target itself as well. Pretty cool card, honestly. Pretty cool card. It's flexible. It's decently statted. It's a May ability as well. And it's a sack outlet, I guess. It's a sack outlet in white. Oh, white doesn't often get a sacrifice creatures. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this was pretty cool. And you can even sacrifice like the 1/1 bird, because the 1/1 bird lets you explore as well. Like this card is like super flexible, super interesting. I think that being said, it's probably still not that crazy, right? I kind of want to put it in C+ range, and I don't want to put it in the B range. It's not really 3 mana for 5/4 stats, because you have to sacrifice something else. I think that this card is cool, but in general, it's going to be harder to use than you expect, and it's like, it's not that good. It's a cool design space, but I don't think it's like that good. I'm going to give it a C+ here. I don't want to put it in the B range. It would be a B- as a 2/3. I think 3/2, 2/3 doesn't matter too much. It really depends on the format, but I think that's not really one of my big considerations here. Okay. Next card, Thousand Moons Infantry. 3 mana, 2/4. Untap Thousand Moons Infantry during each other player's untap step. Okay. So, all right. Before people are like, Deathsie is an EDH card. It's an EDH card. I mean, I don't have any other choice, do I, Amaz? Evaluating cards in a vacuum, because I mean, it's not really in a vacuum, right? It's like based on other things that we've seen, but yeah, like since we can't see all the cards at once, then I just have to rate it like this. If that makes sense. I mean, another way I could do card reviews would be like, okay, let me spend a few days to like look at all the cards and then play test cards, and then I'll come back and then I'll do a set review, right? But that's not the way that we do it, unfortunately. And I like to look at the cards just like you know, the first impressions of cards as well. like all of these cards basically are my first time looking at it. So that's the way that we do the card reviews. But yeah, I mean, if you are a person who is trying to like trying to actually know what's good or not, you just have to keep that in mind, right? That like, well, these are my first time looking at the cards, and then readjust the ratings, kind of like that. Anyways, Thousand Wings Infantry is basically just vigilance. It's basically just vigilance for the most part. I don't think we care about it that much. I mean, it's still pretty good if you think about it. 3 mana, 2/4 vigilance in this day and age, but yeah, not really that interested in it. I think I'm starting off at a probably C- or D plus. C minus, D plus. I mean, the stat line's pretty good. I'm gonna start us off as C minus. It could be D plus. I'm not sure. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Next card here. Tinker's Tote. 3 mana. Enters the battlefield. Create 2/1/1 gnomes. What? All right. And then 1 mana. Sacrifice Tote. You gain 3 life. That's a sweet card. I like that. So it's basically, you know, white normally gets a card like this. Sometimes they have lifelink, sometimes they don't. This one is cool because it's an artifact itself, and it makes 2/1/1 artifacts. So that's a lot of artifacts, and also it does have an ability on it as well. You gain 3 life, or you can just use a tote later for like, you know, quote unquote bargain fodder or something like that. I do like this one. This one's awesome. Let's start this one off at a B minus. B minus. Probably, I'm not gonna give this one a B. At the moment, I would probably take this one over pacifism even. Um, Again, seems like a flexible card. We'll see what we do within the format, but you know, pretty happy to see that. That's like, I mean, that's power creep if I've ever seen it. How many cards are we in? We're like 10 cards in or something. Hello everyone, by the way. Hope y'all are doing well. Next card here, Adaptive Gem Guard. 4 mana, 3/3. Tap to untap artifacts and or creatures you control. Okay. Put a counter on Adaptive Gem Guard. Dude, having like random artifacts are pretty sick. Activate only as a sorcery. That's still pretty cool though, man. I feel like it doesn't play out as well as it looks. But it's pretty cool though. Like this guy is sweet. So you can curve like the 1/1 tokens in. And you can actually tap more than that. Like you can just make this guy a 5/5 first turn you play it. A little bit fragile, and play patterns like that generally are not that good for limited or constructed. But I mean the optionality is there. Optionality is there. I mean, if this was not a sorcery, I think like games would get really, really complicated. I think it's good that this is a sorcery to sort of simplify a lot of the play patterns. But yeah, I'm not sure. What do you guys think about this? I think I want to start this one off as a C minus. Really, really cool card though. I like this design space. I don't expect it to play out that well though. It is cool though. It is cool though. I like it. I like it. Go to the creature, untaps and other untap steps. Not really, right? Because this one is sorcery speed. So even if it untaps on your opponent's turn, or even on your own turn, it's a sorcery. So can't really make use of that. All right, next card here. Old Tech Cloud Guard. 4 mana, 3/2 flying. Enters the battlefield, make a 1/1 colorless artifact token. Man, dude, this set looks so powerful. Set looks so powerful. We haven't seen like statted stuff like this for quite a while. I mean, like, I want to say this has to be good. This has to be like a top tier common, right? Like, when are you upset playing this? I don't really see it. I don't really see it. When are you upset playing this? Like, this has just got to be always solid, right? I'm gonna give this one a flat B, maybe even a B plus. We'll start off as a B plus. gotta be good. It's just gotta be good. 4-mana 3/2 flyer, make a 1/1 artifact. Like, it's gotta be good. Yeah, I don't really see this not being good. Like, I mean, think of a lot of situations limited as well. Like, this guy helps you win a race. The 1/1 on the ground can probably chump something large, and then this guy goes to the sky. A lot of play patterns in my mind that make this card just exceptional, and I don't see why it wouldn't be good. So, yeah, all right. Let's start this one off as a B plus here. All right, Old Tech Archaeologists, 5-mana 4/4. Enter the battlefield, choose one. Return to our artifact from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty cool. Or scry 3. All right, it's I mean, it's a large value white creature, and it's well statted, I would say. That being said, generally probably not gonna be that excited to play these. You'll maybe play like one copy or something in decks that are slower, that are looking for some sort of card event or something. But yeah, I don't think we generally care about this. Probably gonna start this one off at a D plus. So I want to put in the D range. And yeah, again, it's a cool card. I mean, if you have like rare artifacts and stuff like that, yeah, this card's gonna go up in value. But at first glance, I don't expect to be playing this card that much. But I'll be very happy to be wrong. Okay, next card here, Quicksand Whirlpool, 6-mana instant. Spell costs 3 less if it targets a tapped creature. So 3 mana. 3 mana instant to exile target tapped creature, then 6 mana to just exile anything. So I generally don't really like it. This is reminiscent to like Expel, right? Expel is generally that effect, and yeah, it's kind of weird because like if this was just 3 mana exile star creature, it looks pretty good, but then giving it the 6 mana to exile any creature, even if it's not tapped, it almost makes it look worse to me, which is obviously not true. But generally, I don't think I'm gonna care about this at all. I think I want to still just give this like a D plus. Like, do I really care about this? I generally don't think I do. I'm gonna start this one off as a D plus. Just not that interested in it. Again, it is more flexible than it normally is. But I don't even normally like Expel and stuff in general, so. Okay. Next card here, Soaring Sandwing, 6-mana 3/5. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Plane Cycling, nice. Okay. Any dinosaur lovers in chat? What sort of dinosaur is this? 6-mana 3/5. All right. Pretty cool. Land cycling. So I like that land cyclers are back. Back at 2 mana land cycle. It's a sand wingosaur. Okay. Nice. Nice, nice. It's a wingosaurus? It's a wingosaurus? It's a birdosaurus. Pretty cool card. Probably starts on off as C minus. I mean, pretty cool plane cycler. And one of my criticisms about like the last time we had the 2 mana land cyclers was that a lot of the cards were not that flexible, right? A lot of cards are not that flexible. It was like, yeah, you'd play them in your deck, but like the problem was that in the early game, sure, if you need a land, you can grab a land. But then later on, it's like a lot of the cards were more aggressive than they were than they were defensive. And then so here, Soaring Sandwing is a really good balance between that. Because Soaring Sandwing, it's not only a decent sized body, but then it also stabilizes your life total a little bit, right? So I really like a design of cards like this more, because generally it's like if I'm playing a Mountain Cycler and then the payoff on turn 6 when I can actually cast it is a 5/5 haster, I'm not that interested in it, right? But a card like Saurian Sandwing is a lot more balanced in terms of card design, and I think that that's going to lead to better play patterns as well. So generally, I do like it. I'm starting off as a C minus. Yeah, it's two uncolor. It's a two colors to find a planes, right? All right, so that is it for the white commons. Let's move on to the uncommons here. Dusk Rose Reliquary. Damn, what is that? 1 mana artifact. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Damn, that's expensive. All right, let's see what it does. It has Ward 2. When Dusk Rose Reliquary enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. That is an awesome card. That is so cool. So it's essentially Oblivion Ring, right? But it also hits artifacts. I guess Oblivion Ring just hit any non-land permanent anyways. So yeah, it's basically Oblivion Ring, but it has an additional cost to it. You sacrifice an artifact or creature. There are 1/1 tokens in the format. And then I like that it protects itself a little bit with the Ward 2. Pretty cool card though. Very reminiscent of like a Bone Shatter, something like that. Pretty cool card. I want to give this card like a C plus or B minus. C plus or B minus. Maybe even a B minus, huh? I mean, yeah, there's a cost to it, but then the card itself is just very solid, like But yeah, really hard to tell. I can't really tell. I think I'm starting off as a C plus. But yeah, really cool card design. Okay, next card here, Helping Hand. 1 mana, sorcery, return target creature card and mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to battlefield tap. That's pretty cool. Generally, effects like this in white are 2 mana. This one does have it enter tap though. But you know, 1 mana to get a 3 mana thing back is like pretty good value. Format has like a lot of sacrificing stuff as well. There are a lot of cards that leave stuff behind. I do like it, huh? Probably give this one just a flat C. Helping Hand. We will see how well we can use this. But yeah, pretty awesome card here. Next card here, Market Gnome. 1 mana 0/3. When a gnome dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Okay. When gnome is exiled from the battlefield, while you're activating a craft ability, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Okay, so this is craft fodder. I do like it though. I do like it. Like, if you think about it, if you're not an aggressive white deck, or maybe even if you are, you have this thing that does something early, and then when it dies, just like due to blocking, or if you sacrifice it to something, or if you exile from the battlefield, you get a little bit of life and you draw a card. Really sweet card. Man, I love this. I want to give this card like a B range even, like B minus. Jamie doesn't trigger from crafting from graveyard. Yeah, but I think that's fine. Exile from the battlefield, exile craft ability. Pretty sweet card. Yeah. I'm gonna give someone a B minus. Pretty good for common. It's an uncommon. It's a little bit hard to see the rarity symbols in this format. But yeah, it is an uncommon here. Yeah, the rarity symbols are kind of impossible to see, in my opinion. Really impossible. Okay, Ruin Lurker Bat. 1 mana, 1/1 flying lifelink. At the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, scry 1. You descended if a permanent card was put in your graveyard from anywhere. So one of the things I like so far about the set is that it really feels, it really does feel adventurous. It feels a lot like if y'all have ever watched this anime called Made in Abyss. It feels like you're, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Something like that, right? Where it's like, we're going deep, we're diving down, and we're finding all these things. And so a mechanic like Descend that's connected to this feeling of diving, or like dungeon crawling, something like that. It feels really cool. Descended if a permanent card is put in your graveyard from anywhere. Okay. Beginning of your end step, if you descend this turn, scry 1. 1 mana, 1/1 flying lifelink. Oh. With an ability. I don't like it. I kind of like it. I want to put it in like the C+ range or something though. Alright. I do like it though. Alright. Next card here. Play Fired Bricks. Play Fired Bricks. Okay. 2 mana. When Clifford Bricks enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic Plains card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. You gain 2 life. Okay. Cool. Craft with artifact, 7 mana. Exiles artifact, and then exile another artifact you control, or an artifact card from your graveyard. Return this card transformed under its owner's control, craft only as a sorcery. Alright, so 2 mana. You look for basic Plains. Put in your hand, shuffle, gain 2 life, alright. Then you craft for 7 mana. Cosmium Kiln. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens. Creatures get +1/+1. Okay, so it becomes an anthem. It becomes an anthem, and it's a 1/1 and makes 2 1/1s. Pretty cool card. It's obviously expensive, but it's a pretty cool card. Your library for basic Plains card reveal is so pretty cool card. I mean, what I like so far is that white seems like it can play in a way that is not necessarily just always attacking, right? And that's one of my main criticisms in Magic, that like a lot of times, all right, the white deck does only attacking. It doesn't really play in other ways. And that's what I liked about sets like Strixhaven, for example, where like white red was not only an attacking deck. I mean, attacking was the main thing it did, but it also had like other ways to play it. Not that they were necessarily good, right? With all the excavation stuff, but I think designing ways for colors to play in a way that they don't normally play is really cool. That being said, I don't really know. It's really hard to use, but it is cool though. I do like it. I do like it. It's expensive, but at least it gives you some good stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not really sure. Really don't know. Huh. I got no idea. Start off as just a C, I guess. I also like 1/1s that can block. Like 1/1s that can block are really good for Magic, in my opinion. If you have like Decay tokens that can't block, 1/1 rats that can't block, like I think that limits a lot of gameplay and design space. C for Clay, yep. Like I'm just not sure because I don't know how good just 2 mana Final Plains is. It's probably pretty decent, right? So who knows? Next card here, Dauntless Dismantler. 2 mana, 1/4. Artifacts your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Okay. Well, that's a pretty powerful passive and a good stat line already. Okay. Then it also has an additional ability. X white. Sacrifice Dauntless Dismantler. Destroy each artifact with mana value X. What? This guy's kind of sick. So this guy can blow up your opponent's 1/1s and stuff. So 3 mana to blow up 1/1 tokens on the board, and it's a chonker as well. This guy kind of sick, man. Oh, you can pay just 1 mana to destroy treasures. That's pretty cool as well. Wait, hold on. Tokens are 0 CMC. What am I talking about? You just pay 1 mana to blow up tokens. Oh, this guy's kind of a chonker, man. I'm gonna start this guy off at a B. Really hard to say these evaluations without playing the set because it just depends on like how the format feels. Cards like this are gonna be good, but I mean like this guy doesn't it have to be good? Because the thing is that we've also seen ways to give creatures counters, right? So like putting any amount of counters on a 1/4 on a 1/4/2 cost is just gonna be phenomenal, isn't it? Aw. Is this guy a chonker? I'm sorry this guy off at a B plus actually. Yeah, it feels like this card's insane in every format. Should I just give this card an A, by the way? Should I just give this card an A? Is it too crazy to give this card an A? A minus or B plus? A minus or B plus? It's just too flexible, isn't it? Like it's good at every point of the game. It's well statted. It also makes your opponent's artifacts enter tap, which seems incredibly annoying. Like I will hate to play against that. I think I'm just gonna give an A minus. All right. Not game breaking enough. I think it is game breaking enough, right? I think it is game breaking enough. For the cost as well, right? For the cost as well. Like we always have to factor in cost. Does this sort craft backside for 1 mana? I believe the craft backside mana value is equal to the front side. I'm not sure though. Alright, next card here, Guardian of the Great Door. 2 mana 4/4. Angels. Additional cost to cast a spell. Tap 4 untap artifact creatures and or lands you control, and that's flying. Such an expensive cost. So you have to pay the 2 as well as 4 untap tap 4 things as well. I feel like I don't want this card. I feel like I don't want this card, and I feel like I'm never gonna play this card, really. I want to give this card a D minus. Sure, at some points in the game, you might just have stuff lying around anyways, but it's always expensive to tap stuff. Like, if you're tapping creatures, if you're tapping extra lands, it's always expensive. I don't think this card is good. I don't think that this is a card that I'm willing to play at any point. Yeah, it's basically a six mana thing with Convoke and Improvise. I think it's just like really whatever. I don't think we care about it at all. I don't think I care. I don't think I really care. A 5 mana 4/4 flyer. I guess if you put it that way. Right? It's so 3 mana plus this plus 1 thing, and then it's already pretty good. Then if you tap 2 things as a 4/4, it might actually be better than it looks, huh? It might be better than it looks. So maybe I shouldn't be putting this in D range. Maybe like C minus. But like it's still a lot of work just for a 4/4 flyer. When I can just pay 4 mana for a 3/2 flyer that leaves me a 1/1 token. Like with no questions asked, right? I feel like this still asks just too many questions of me. And in terms of deck building, in terms of how I play on my hand, it's just incredibly difficult to plan. I still feel like I just don't care about it. Maybe we'll give it a D plus. Compared to like other cards that we've seen already, I feel like this is just not interesting enough, right? Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, I'll start off as a D plus. Happy to be wrong. Next card here, Spring Loaded Saw Blades. Damn, that looks dangerous as hell. 2 mana artifact has flash. Spring Loaded Saw Blades enters the battlefield, deals 5 damage to target tapped creature and opponent controls. Alright, that's pretty damn sick. Then also has Craft with Artifact for 4 mana. It becomes a Blade Wheel Chariot. Well, that makes 0 sense at all, but I like the ambition in terms of design. 5/5. Tap 2 other artifacts you control. Okay. Blade Wheel Chariot becomes an artifact creature in the turn. Okay. So you can either tap two other untapped artifacts to make this a creature, or you can crew 1. I think this card is awesome. This card is sick. This card is way better than like the 6 mana expel that we saw. This is really a card that I'm looking for. 5 damage usually enough already. It's flexible, and it has a decent craftability for extra value later, and this thing crewing for 1 sounds pretty fine. So I like this card. I want to give this card like an A or A minus. I think it's pretty cool. And I don't know if anybody can confirm, but I believe the CMC value on the backside of these cards is equal to the front side. So this one is 2 CMC for all intents and purposes, I believe. A flame tongue combo with extra steps, yeah. This is like pretty awesome. What I like most about white again is that it doesn't seem like it's just a basic attacking deck. Next card here, Vanguard of the Rose. 2 mana 3/1. It has 1 mana sacrifice another creature or artifact. Vanguard of the Rose gains indestructible in the turn, tap it. Dude, since when does white have sack outlets? Since when does white have sack outlets? Okay, so everybody knows how much I love 2 mana 3/1s. It also has an ability on it. Sacrifice something, gains indestructible, tap it. Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Probably start this card off at like C plus or B minus. C plus or B minus. Yeah, who knows? I have no idea. C plus B minus. C plus B minus. C plus B minus. I mean, if they're like aristocrat type strategies, I'm sure that this is gonna enable stuff in black and in other colors. It's got to be pretty decent. C plus B minus. C plus B minus. I think B minus. Can you use ability if it's already tapped? Yes. Yes, you can. Start as B minus, I guess. Next card here, Bat Colony. That's hilarious. This art is sick, by the way. Oh my gosh. 3 mana enchantment. Bat Colony enters the battlefield. Make a 1/1 black bat creature token flying for each mana from a cave spent to cast it. All right, so I guess caves are going to be some sort of lands that we haven't seen yet, right? Wait, is Cavern of Souls a cave or no? Whenever a cave enters the battlefield under your control, put a counter on target creature you control. So this is supposed to be like some sort of a build around something. But if you don't have any caves at all, this is not making any bats. Huh. We'll have to see if this is going to be like a Wingmantle Chaplain or if it's not. Cavern has not been eroded to be a cave? Okay. I mean, this might be like a Zenith Flare type card, honestly. It's either going to be like borderline unplayable or it's going to be the most broken card in the set. I don't know. I honestly don't know. We'll have to see. Let's start this one off at a D plus though. Cards like that, like I feel like we can kind of tell these days when cards are going to be like that. Cards like Wingmantle Chaplain, right? Either Wingmantle Chaplain, Zenith Flare, they're either going to be like basically unplayable or absolutely broken. Next card here, Kinjali's Dawn Runner. 2 mana 1/1 double strike. Sorry, 3 mana 1/1 double strike. Enters the battlefield, explores. I mean, pretty good chonker, honestly. Pretty good chonker. I don't see why I wouldn't like this. Good with equipment, good with buffs, which we've seen a lot of. Asks very little, and oftentimes just card advantage as well. I want to give this card like B plus or A range. Probably I want to give it like A range. Seems pretty good. I'm gonna give this card an A minus. Seems good. Seems good. Lean in, welcome back. Thanks for the 56 months. Welcome back, baby. Good to have you back here, Lean in. Thank you so much. All right, next card here. Might of Ancestors. 3 mana enchantments. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains +2/+0 and gains vigilance. Plan a turn. Ah. Dude, this card is kind of sick, honestly. I feel this card's kind of sick with a lot of cards we've seen. We've seen like cheap lifelinkers. We've seen the double strike just now as well. Um, I mean, even sending in tokens a lot of times is going to be good. I actually like this card. I'm going to give this card like a B minus. Yeah, I've never really seen a card like this before. Usually cards like this they generally err on the side of caution, and it's going to be pretty bad, but this card seems pretty good. Yes, it's only on your turn or whatever, but I think it's a pretty powerful effect. Pretty powerful effect. I'm gonna give it as a B minus. It's probably high, but yeah. C at the very least, I think. It certainly is not unplayable. Okay, next card here, Mischievous Pup. 3 mana, 3/1 flash. What the? Enters a battlefield, return up to one other target permanent you control to his owner's hand. So it's like a rescue, like a rescue dog. Okay. 3 mana, 3/1 flash, enters about return up to one other target permanent controls to his hand. I think that this looks a lot cooler than it's actually going to play out as. I probably don't care that much, but you know, there are a lot of cool things to return in the format now that I think about it. I feel like the play patterns are probably not going to be that good though, but also it can't be that bad either. Yeah, you can also bounce a land, I guess. It'll be pretty niche scenario, but I mean, a lot of the enter the battlefield effects, like even like the Saw Blade, right, that deals 5 to tap creature, it's like pretty powerful if you think about it. Huh. I'm gonna start this one off as just a flat C. Just any of the things that we saw, like the 3 mana artifact that makes 2 1/1s, the 2 mana artifact that deals 5 to something, the 2 mana artifact that gets a planes from your deck and you gain 2 life. Like, honestly, pretty flexible. And if you look at this as a removal spell, right, a 3 mana 3/1 is actually like still pretty good. Is it better than Celebrant? I would say it's actually a lot better than Celebrant. Yeah, Celebrant scries, but this card is just so flexible. I mean, it also just like you can save something else as well. It's pretty darn cool. I'm gonna give this card a C plus. Actually, I've kind of talked myself into it. Celebrant doesn't force you to bounce now. It's a May. Yeah, pretty cool shenanigans, and it really shapes like the fabric of how a format can play out. Next card here, Malamet Warscribe. This guy's a beast. 5 mana 4/3. Enters the battlefield. Creature you control get +2/+1 to end the turn. Huh. That is an interesting card. What the hell? Damn. Back in my day, Charge didn't give you a 4/3. Yeah. Inspired Charge didn't give you a 4/3. What? I'm kind of confused. Isn't this guy a chonker? Isn't this guy just a goddamn chonker? I mean, I don't think I want to give an A, but I want to give it somewhere in the B range. Like, maybe just a flat B for this guy. Sounds pretty good. Guy's like... I mean, he even grants toughness as well. And he's a reasonable sized body. If it wins you the game, you don't get a 4/3. That's a good point. But it's kind of a win-win scenario. I could see this being an A. Starts on off as just a B though. Alright, so moving into the rares for the format. Warden of the Inner Sky. Damn. 1 mana 1/2. As long as Warden has 3 or more counters on it, it has flying and vigilance. Okay. Tap 3 and tap artifacts and or creatures you control. Put a counter on Warden of the Inner Sky, scry 1. Activate only as a sorcery. Really hard to say. I can't tell. I feel like it's a pretty decent late game card. It's not really exciting in the early game, actually. I think that this card actually lacks flexibility, and it seems a lot worse than a lot of the other cards that we've seen. At least for limited, at least for drafting. Don't really like it that much. Don't like it that much. I mean, at some point late in the game, sure, if you have a bunch of stuff, you can just tap it and then it's a huge flyer. But like again, I think tapping is super expensive. I think I want to give this card a D plus. I think I want to give this card a D plus. I don't even want to put in the C range. I think that the lack of flexibility in this card, for very marginal upside in my opinion, is just whatever. I'm gonna go give it a D. 1 mana 1/2 is just fake in this day and age and limited in my opinion. Like cards need to do stuff. So stat line is fine. Stat line is obviously something that we look at, but very much so, more often than not. More important than stat line is are the abilities of a card, right? So I think that this is not good enough. So yeah, I'm gonna give this card a D plus here. Yeah, we'll see. Next card here, Fabrication Foundry. 2-mana artifact. Tap, add a white mana. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact source. Okay. It's mana in white. That is so cool. So this mana only casts an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact source. Okay. 3 mana tap. Exile one or more other artifacts you control with mana value X. Return target artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard. The battlefield active as a sorcery. Exile one or more other artifacts you control with total mana value X. Return target artifact card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's kind of like a Goblin Welder. Yeah, it's like a Goblin Welder in white that's also adding mana, but the mana it adds cannot help to pay for itself. Huh. Goblin. Dude, I kind of love this card. I kind of love this card. So you're basically exchanging stuff on the board for things in the graveyard. And usually the stuff on the board that you're going to sacrifice has already gone in its value, right? A lot of the value is going to be entered the battlefield. So then you're going to just get additional value. Pretty cool build around. Oh, I kind of like it. I'm going to start this card off as a B. I'm not convinced enough to give it an A, I don't think. Yeah, it's a Deathsie draft kind of card for sure. I love build arounds and stuff, you know me. Next card here, Get Lost. What a cool name for a card. 2-mana instant. Destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. Okay. Destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. Its controller creates 2 map tokens. Alright, so this is our first time seeing map tokens. They're artifacts with 1 mana tap. Sacrifice this artifact. Target creature you control explores. What? Active as a sorcery. Alright. So they are clues. They are clues, but they make a creature explore. Right? Something like that. Yeah, but for limited, all intents and purposes, generally not really playable, probably in most cases. Gonna give this card a D plus, D minus, I think. I think I missed a card as well. I missed Abuelo's Awakening. It's fine. We will get to it. All right. Yeah. For limited, this card can also get lost though. Next card here. Hold on. Where exactly is Kel in here? So I guess this one's supposed to be in multicolor or whatever. Kel. Ixalan. It's fine. I'll just rate these as part of white. Helen, Daring Traveler. Okay, 2 mana, 2/3 as an adventure. Adventures are back? That's crazy. Or maybe it's only Kellen that has an adventure. Because I assume that he like planeswalked from wherever to here. Which I don't even know how they planeswalk, to be honest. Like, planeswalking is never explained, right? Anyways, Journey On, Sorcery Adventure. 1 green. Create X map tokens where X is 1 plus the number of opponents who control an artifact. Okay. So if your opponent, so in 1v1, you always get 1, and then if your opponent has an artifact, which they almost always will, you'll get 2 map tokens, okay? And then whenever Kellen, Daring Traveler, attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card with mana value 3 or less, put it in your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. Whenever it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. It's a creature card with mana value 3 or less, put it in your hand. So then he finds small stuff, and the map... Is the map supposed to help you find it? Not really, right? The map doesn't really help you find it, because it's Explorer. I guess it kind of does, right? Because if it's a land, you put it in your hand. If it's not a land, then you put it back on top. Then if you put it back on top and it's a small creature, then you can put it in your hand. So I guess it kind of does, actually. Huh. Alright, I mean... For limited, pretty great card. I don't see what there is to complain about. Just give Kellen a flat A, I guess. Value, stats, whatever. Next card here. Kutzil's Flanker. Dude, these Cat Warriors are kind of intense, man. 3 mana, 3/1 flash. Enter the battlefield, choose 1. Put a counter on Flanker for each creature that left the battlefield under your control this turn. Okay. You gain 2 life and you scry 2 life. And you scry 2. Or you can exile target player's graveyard. 3 mana, another 3 mana, 3/1 flash in the format. In white. Okay, so you can either block on your opponent's turn or attack on your turn. You play this guy's pretty large. Or as scry, or exile target player's graveyard. So, again, nothing really to complain about, right? It's a card that maybe it won't pull you into white, but if you're white, you're always going to play it. I'd probably just give this card a flat A as well. I mean, like, what's there to complain about? Like, you always play it, right? It doesn't matter. It's not that exciting, but it's flexible. It does everything you want. And there's a lot of excavation stuff in the format, right? So, like, exiling target player's graveyard is probably going to be relevant as well. Let's start here. Sanguine Evangelist. 3 mana, 2/1 Battle Cry. Okay. Sanguine Evangelist enters the battlefield or dies. Make a 1/1 black bat creature token flying. That's pretty disgusting. This card is absolutely disgusting me. 3 mana, 2/1. Enters the battlefield, you make a 1/1. When it dies, you make a 1/1. When it attacks, it gives all of your other stuff +1/+0. Alright, well that's an A+ for me. Yeah. No evasion. I mean, the bat is evasion. But yeah, this is annoying as hell. It's crazy. A+. I don't think it's quite S tier, but yeah. Kind of pushing it, right? Alright, next card here. Abuelo's Awakening. X3 and a 1. Sorcery. Return target artifact or non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with X additional +1/+1 counters on it. Okay. It's a 1/1 spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types. Return target artifact or non-aura enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so you can actually return non-creatures. You can return non-creatures. So the shenanigans with this in constructed formats is actually really high. Like, cases where you can animate animate artifacts is going to be super interesting in terms of the synergies that it'll create. Artifact or non-aura enchantment is super interesting. What the hell? It doesn't even get back normal creatures. And then it gets a bunch of counters, and then it's also a 1/1 spirit in addition. Pretty cool card, huh? I think it's more fancy than good, at least in limited. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool though. Yeah, this can get back omniscience, actually. So you be like omniscient reanimator. Wait. Isn't the card the nuts in like constructed formats? Bueno. Wait, isn't omniscience just in standard right now? Or is it not? It's not, right? The bonus sheet for Wild Level Drain is not in standard. Never mind. Cool card. I mean, for limited is like whatever, I think. Probably starts one off as a C minus. C minus, like D plus range, something like that. But man, for constructed formats, this is super fun. Like, this is a card that would actually get me playing constructed for at least a little bit. Okay, next card here, Thousand Moon Smithy. I like this Thousand Moons theme or whatever. 4 mana, legendary artifact. When it enters the battlefield, create a white gnome soldier artifact creature token with this creature's power and toughness equal to number of artifacts and or creatures you control. Wait, what? Hold on. So does an artifact creature count twice, chat, or no? Number of artifacts and or creatures. I assume it doesn't, right? I assume an artifact creature will only count once. What do you guys think? I don't think it counts twice. Because that will get really messy in some situations, right? At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may tap 5 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control. If you do, transform Thousand Moon Smithy. Alright. Let me tap 5 things. Okay. Barracks of the Thousand. What the? Alright. Legendary artifact land. So it can tap to add a white. Then whenever you cast an artifact or a creature spell using mana produced by Barracks of the Thousand, create a white gnome soldier artifact creature token with this creature's power and toughness are equal to number of artifacts and or creatures you control. Huh, a lot of hoops to jump through, but pretty cool card. Huh. So this is like kind of a payoff for not being super attacking or whatever, or even if you are super attacking, you can take a little bit of time off to play this, basically tap all of your shit, transform this bad boy into barracks, it's a land, and then you have to cast artifact or creature spells using this, and then you get these gnome artifact creature tokens that are reminiscent of like the constructs, right? Karn's constructs. And then you have a lot of inevitability. I think it's a pretty darn cool card. Yeah, I think I want to give this card probably just a flat A. Or just a flat A. He was really powerful though. Honestly I can see it being one of the best rares in the set. It just depends. But white has a lot of options and a lot of flexibility in the way that white plays to actually utilize a card like this without much effort, I think. But yeah, pretty darn cool card. Let's go and give it an A here. Alright, moving on to the very final rare here in white. Unstable Glyph Bridge. 5 mana, artifact. When Glyph Bridge enters a battlefield, if you cast it, for each player, choose a creature with power 2 or less that player controls. Okay. Then destroy all creatures except creatures chosen this way. Alright. So, Unstable Glyph Bridge, if you cast it, enters, you get to pick one small thing from each player, and then destroy everything else. Then it has Craft with Artifact, 5. Okay. You can transform it into Sand Swirl Wanderglyph. It's a 5/3 flyer with whenever an opponent casts a spell during their turn, they can't attack you or planeswalkers you control this turn. Okay, so that's only relevant if they cast things pre-combat. They can cast things post-combat, whatever. And then each opponent who attacked you or a planeswalker you control this turn can't cast spells. Never mind. Never mind. So this is like Lodestone Golem on crack. Like a type of Lodestone Golem. So basically, they're like, bitch, you can't do shit. So you basically either choose that you either get an attack or you get to cast stuff. That's it. Pretty cool though. Pretty cool. So it's a pretty cool board wipe, and then your opponents just get kind of wrecked. This is a pretty cool card. It's pretty well statted, a little bit fragile on the backside. It's a 5/3, but has flying. Monkahum. The board wipe that turns into a flyer that also hoses their game plan. They either get to attack or they get to cast spells. Pretty cool card. Is it busted though? Is it busted or is it just good? I kind of want to give it an A+. I kind of don't want to give it an S. What do you guys think? I mean, it could be an S. It could be an S. Could be an S. Can't tell. I can't tell. You think it has to be an S? Board us and that make a creature. Yeah, who knows though. It is pretty defensive. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in it. I guess we can give it an S. I mean, it should always be good, right? It should always be good. Yeah, it's probably always good. All right, let's give it the first S of the format so far. All right, moving on to the Mythics here. We have 2 Mythics. Resplendent Angel is back. All right, 3 mana, 3/3 flyer. Beginning of each end step, you gain 5 or more life this turn. Make a 4/4 White Angel creature token with Flying and Vigilance. 6 mana until end of turn. Angel gets +2/+2 and gains a lifelink. So I'm assuming this is just an S. Like, generally, if you can't remove it and your opponent gets there, it's just unbeatable. I've lost to this card many times throughout history, and I don't see why it won't be good this time. So, yeah, really cool card. I like it. I like it. That's an awesome card. Resplendent Angel. Give the S here. All right, and the very last card here for white. Oher Tak. Oh my god, how do you pronounce that? Oher Tak. Deepest Foundation. 6 mana, 6/6. Legendary creature, god, vigilance. If one or more creature tokens would be created under your control, 3 times that many tokens are created instead. When Oher Tak dies, returns to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. Okay. It becomes a land! Temple of Civilization. Tap to add a white mana. 3 mana tap, transform Temple of Civilization. Activate only if you attacked with 3 or more creatures this turn and only as a sorcery. Alright, so when it dies, it becomes a land that's basically in slumber, right? Waiting for people of the future to revive it through either blood sacrifices or whatever. Then it'll come back. Really cool take on the sort of god effect, right? Instead of just having a shuffle back in your library, it's still on the board and it requires some sort of a stipulation to get it back. Pretty cool. I mean, for all intents and purposes, even without the creature token ability, it's a 6/6 vigilance that comes back. Pretty cool. Is it an S though, or is it not an S? I'm trying to think it. I think it's like an A+, right? I think it's like an A+. I like it as an A+. It'll be an S sometimes, but for the most part, I think A plus makes sense. Well stated thing, has good abilities. Plays very well in like these non super aggressive white decks. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. There seem to be a lot of token generators. Will those token generators come down after you play a 6-drop? Mm, a little bit less likely, but yeah, pretty cool. All right.